So one of the things that when doing research for this episode, I went to our team page and I saw Abraham Lincoln listed as a mentor.
Yeah.
How does that fit into the brand? Like, how did that come about? Like, what's the story behind that?
Yeah. So Robert went to trade school in Las Vegas in 1985. And while he was there, he thought, someday I want to own my own company. And he said he just had the thought, you should call it Lincoln Heating and Air. And the marketing opportunities would be endless. And he didn't really even understand at the time what marketing even meant. But he just thought there's something unique about that. And so when he started his own company after several years in 1993, he named it Lincoln Heating and Air. They came up with the slogan, making every penny count. We used the penny as the logo. And so Abraham Lincoln's tied into it. That was the extent of it for a long time. It was just the penny on the logo. But in 2008, when the economy crashed, we fortunately kind of got on with a government contract for low-income housing. So we did a lot of work for the government during that time. But we were looking at it saying, eventually this is going to go away, and what are we going to do then? We've been doing jobs for the government for so long. We're not going to have a name in the community. No one's going to know who we are when this finishes. So we started doing radio ads, and we came up with a unique approach for radio ads. We've never been able to compete just dollar for dollar in advertising. Even now, we're going to hit 10 million this year. And so we're not a small company, we're not a huge company either, but we have a decent marketing fund. But even then, the companies in our area have all been purchased by private equity, and there's just so much money flying around for marketing that even now that we're bigger, we can't compete dollar for dollar. So we came up with this idea that in our radio commercials, we would spend the first 30 seconds telling a story about Abraham Lincoln. And then in the second half of it, we would tie that story into some kind of comment about Lincoln Heating and Air, and then we end every single commercial with, "This has been a penny for your thoughts, presented by Lincoln Heating and Air." And that worked really well. It took a while. You don't immediately with something like that see a huge return, but now every week we hear people mention, "Oh my gosh, we hear your radio ads. We love your radio ads." And Robert has done most of the radio ads. I've started to do some of them. But Robert will literally get stopped in the grocery store and people will be like, are you the voice of the Abraham Lincoln stories? And people just really connected with him because it's an entertainment value. Our philosophy has been, if we can pay you for your time in the form of entertainment, then you come away with a positive feeling about our commercials. There's commercials, of course, where you remember it, but I sometimes am like, I will never go to that place just because I hate their commercials so much. I hear it all the time. I will never go there because I can't get them out of my head.
Yeah.
But I think we avoid that for the most part by being entertaining. Some of the stories are meaningful. Some of them are just interesting history facts. Some of them are hilarious. So we tell stories along with it. So that's worked really well on the video end as far as establishing Abraham Lincoln